It looks works.
So
Okay.
now we start.
Yes, please.
My name is Moen and I'm from Jamaican University. Today we have the journal club for two speakers, Yoshida-san and Horia-san. And now we start with Yoshida-san.
Yes. And both. And I requested okay.
Okay.
Sure. Thanks.
I give permission.
Okay, here is so can you see the slide now?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So I will present the overview of the paper in 5 minutes, and maybe we do some additional discussion regarding the paper and some by random thought. Okay, so today's my presentation about the Saji-san's paper on 2012 and 2020, and shown the meaning of the word orange requires understanding the meaning of red, pink, and purple, constructing a lexicon as a connected system. So firstly, I will talk about the motivation of selecting this paper. So I am a researcher in the cognitive development robotics related to the AI, but more like considering about the development of the robot or AIs. And so actually, I'm relatively engineering, so engineering field of researcher. So I actually know much about the actual dynamics of the human cognitive development and so on. And especially in my previous lab was about the development robotics, but especially thinking about some development of the motor control or that kind of the more specifically thinking about the motor control and kind of the cognitive development. So I picked this paper because this is reporting the actual dynamics of the cognitive side of the actual babies and comparing with the adults. So I was interested in this paper for this kind of the perspective. So here is a take-home message of the paper. Yeah. So first message is the children report on colors change with ages, actually. And the report can red or purple or blue, but these are more blurred, that in 5 years old, very similar to the adult. So this kind of some changes of the lexicon and also some perceptual or that kind of developments actually occurring, and they are reporting and making some statistical model about this kind of phenomenon. And and also the boundary of the color average 3 years old or more unclear, but again, the 5 years old baby almost same with the adults. And also, it's not shown here, but the newly labeled colors like light pink or brown or that kind of the new or orange actually splitting from the more colors previously, actually very cross colors. So also reporting that using some statistical analysis that in the process of the children acquiring the boundary of the counter color categories. So in the model, they say that it's more important to that the adult consistently says name of the something colors than they saying the name of those color more frequently. Yeah, actually, accuracy of the boundary of the color naming is more affected by the consistency of the naming of the colors by adults. So this is some take-home message of the paper. So I'll explain the overview. I'm not sure it's how time passed, but anyway. So here's here is experimental overview. So they're using sorry, this is not a student. It's participants are shown there some color swatches, 93 color swatches, and asked to name the color basically. And using this kind of the questionnaire, the 9319 matrices are created using created and projected later into the two-dimensional spaces using the multidimensional scaling analysis. It's a kind of the embedding method like PCA or Disney or like that. So one kind of this kind of methods. And they conducted two experiments in the paper. First is for adults and for some making some kind of teacher signal for the further analysis. And the second experiment for children, this is a main experiment. So they're recruiting the 10 to 8 to 12 participants from 3-year-old to the 5 years old. So this is a result of the color naming of the adults. So first finding is the adult did not name the chromatic colors. Did not name the colors as chromatic colors. So that's why only the chromatic color forms some cluster and achromatic color making some different clusters like this. So in the further analysis, they remove the achromatic color, and then we can see some overlapping categories of color namings like this. So they use the 84 chromatic color in the further analysis or experiment. So here is a main result of the baby's experiment. And here is a 3-year-old result, and this is a 5-year-old result. So we can see that gradually its naming space is changing. And initially, the 3-year-old baby, their decision boundary is more broad, but as time goes by, the babies clearly separating the colors like adults. Good. They are also conducting some statistical analysis to explain what kind of factor is actually actually effective in these changes. So based on the result based on the adults and also using the corpus data, they make it's kind of the mix named mix of effective model. It's a kind of the linear model with random factors. So they use made a two model actually for some predicting the naming accuracy of the baby, and also the accuracy, the boundary of the delineation of the colors. So using using these 6 factors, they try to predict these variables. So using the Bayesian information criterion model selection, they find the best model to fit with children's development. So here is a result of the model fitting. And they reported that actually this kind of linear model are best fit. And this is some noise terms. And using for the accuracy of the naming, they find that some input frequency from the adults is very more effective. And also the sizable category is also a bit some effect for predicting the accuracy of the baby's color naming. And also they're thinking about some blurriness or blurriness of the decision of the babies. So they use using the model, they use some naming inconsistency was best effective to explain the naming ambiguities. So this is the result, and so here is a thing I thought, and some random thought when I reading the papers. So yeah, so the first maybe the baby changes the meaning of the colors. So by learning new words for colors, or they do they first learn to cognitively distinguish color and then label them with new words. So this is some question raised in the main text of the authors. So maybe learning new words, maybe changing our cognitive lexicon model or lexicon system, or just we can initially implicitly can distinguish the color and label them so later. So this point are not well distinguished in the paper. So this is maybe the future work. And also I was thinking about what is the difference between knowing the name of the color as sounds and being able to say that words. And also what objects do baby learn about the colors? So maybe in the rooms, maybe from what they actually interacting, and I think what the influences of this kind of the environmental situations, how they learn, maybe now initially from some monochromatic object, or just average of a color, or just some things nearby. So I'm not sure for now. And also there's some more interesting as well is how about the verbs. So how motor development, cognitive development related, like so in the paper authors introduce a very interesting report that in other studies, they say that some Chinese baby initially start to run about the verbs very, how to say? Yeah, initially they start to use some kind of the verbs very broadly, but and later this kind of the some taking or bringing or having can be separated in the more specific usage. So they explain some, I'm not sure them, but this can be also related to some motor development and words. So, and finally, these are kind of what I was thinking about what to discuss in the grant meeting. So maybe some always me, some or since his team, maybe other team are reporting the ChatGPT and query structures. So how is possible to what's so So I think asking to ChatGPT about some consciousness or structure quite fit to doing this kind of I'm very pretty it's basically reasonable to doing this kind of research using the ChatGPT, but I don't know why we think it's very reasonable still. Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's this kind of work can be discussed, and also some. So I'm especially using a reinforcement learning agent or kind of the approximate active inference agent. So this agent, if we use a very tiny agent, we cannot make some questionnaire or language communication like ChatGPT is. So what is actually needed to minimally discussing about the consciousness about this kind of the minimally configured agent? So what is a minimum requirement for doing this kind of consciousness researches? Maybe also at some point. And so what kind of situation would be what kind of the situation would be appropriate for matching the cognitive development of artificial agent with some human animals? Maybe it's also some point. So we are making some, how to say, maybe we can use a kind of the evolutionary scale training for the agent, but it is possible to associate this kind of the training to the human and animal development, animals' cognitive development. Maybe also some point to discuss. So in this sense, so we're assuming this topic are kind of based on the assumptions that we can discuss that the animal and the robots can be used for the conscious research, and so animal may be acceptable, but how about the robots? So robots process may be a kind of the white box, and so. But if we think so, robot can be treated to research on some consciousness or conscious structures. So what can be a difference between the animals and the robot actually? So only the white box or blue, gray box or black box maybe the difference. So I want to, I need some discussion about this. And finally, this last point is kind of more technical. And I sometimes very wondering if it's possible to add in the specific structure into neural networks to just for examine some specific experiment, like so maybe in the neural network, maybe we can make a neural network using only a single modality, or maybe use a multimodality but the separated representation. And also maybe we can use some multimodality, but everything is packed into the single linear layers. So I think that it may be very straightforward to projecting everything to the single layer, but it can be more difficult to analyze in the latest step. But if we separate the modality, maybe it's kind of the artificial, artificial structure for examining the consciousness structure. So I think there is some dilemma here. So maybe I want to discuss this kind of the point in some specific researchers. So yeah, thank you. So this almost 25 minutes almost. Okay, okay, let's discuss some.
I just wonder how they can find the color category in children when they are too young, just 3 years old. How can they do that?
So there is, yeah, actually the process was very similar to that of the adults. So they almost similarly, they did a kind of some checking process before this main experiment. So initially, so they used some toys to naming some toy, asked baby to naming some toys and some checking some minimal consistency about the naming and some cognitive capabilities. So after that, they did almost the same experiment with adults. So 3 years old babies can report this kind of the language communication.
So it seems that children they have less works or less categories, so there are a lot overlap here.
Sorry.
In the 3 years old children, I think the children they are just too young, and the learning is just how to say it's initial learning, so it's evolved through the time, 3 to 4 to 5 years old.
Yeah, actually, the point here is that the initially is orange and red and purple, and also actually there is no the light blue here in the 3 years old babies. So actually, the light blue is first observed in the 4 years old, and gradually separating to at 5 years old more clearly. So actually, initially maybe here, also, yeah. So they starting from the large category words like here and gradually separating some concepts like concept more concept later and gradually separating the concept of the colors.
Okay, I have a question about please go to the discussion page.
Yes. This one?
Thank you very much. Yes. I'm interested in the first term as the learning of new words is first, or the distinguished colors is first. I don't know the answer, but how in the paper how the author I want to know the ideas of authors. So the paper authors what did they claim? What did they claim or describe about this question?
So here is I saw the in the main text the position was more neutral here. So one possibility, and maybe some papers introducing the worst situation. It's by knowing the other words gradually separated, and the other color naming also affected. And and the total lexicon system can be changing by adding whole words. but they are also suggesting some other possibility that these are also very possible. So just they can. So at the beginning we can identify blue and red, and and then later maybe we add in some labels, and maybe some orange and red may be similar. But this kind of situation is not still, not still. Still, we cannot decide which is correct from this report.
I see. Thank you. I think the two parts are the distinguishing of colors and the labeling with words are mutually developing, but not so I think they are not independent, and I think there's some loop for developing. What do you think about such kind of dependencies or something else?
Yeah, that's interesting. So after, say, by some teachers, first we can maybe identify some different situation. So maybe starting from everything is red, like the orange and the red and the apple on the pink maybe. So, but after running new words, initially it was red, but it was now pink or something. I don't know what. But I think that there should be some possibly some interaction between the caregiver and the baby as well. Maybe, so number of words can be different depending on some baby's ages, even from the parents, like some words for baby may be different from the words for adults. So depending on the infant's ages, maybe, the baby can identify these two colors. Maybe the infant caregiver can also change the word selection. Maybe it can be kind of the mutual communication about the naming. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Yoshida-san. Now we move to Horie-san.
I see. Wait a second.